Hello there. I'm Beverly, and welcome back to my Dear Beverly channel where I offer advice from the heart. Each week I answer real questions from women who are navigating love, life, family, and everything in between. Because sometimes, honey, you just need a little heart to heart with someone who gets it. Let's jump into today's question. Dear Beverly, I am exhausted. I'm a 48-year-old single mom juggling a very demanding job, dealing with aging parents, two teenagers with full-time schedules, and basically, I have no time left for myself. Everyone talks about self-care, but honestly, I don't even know where to begin. Most days, I just collapse in bed with a to-do list still running in my head. I miss the woman I used to be. I really miss her. But I've been on autopilot for so long. How do I start putting myself first so I can start to enjoy some of this self-care that everybody's talking about? Signed, Worn Out in Wilmington. Oh, wow. I really feel this one. And yeah, it hits close to home. You know, self-care has become a buzzword these days, plastered all over social media as if candles, bubble bath, and spa days is the definition of self-care. Now, don't get me wrong. I love spa days, but let's be honest. Self-care isn't always pretty. It's not always Instagrammable. And it's not one size fits all. Especially for those who spent years, maybe even decades, caring for everyone else but ourselves. Self-care just doesn't come easy. So what do we do about it? Let's start here. Think about this. When you spent years being the fixer, you spent years being the caregiver, you spent years being the one who remembers everybody's birthdays, you pay the bills every month, you schedule the doctor's appointments for yourself, for your spouse, for your parents, and anybody else who asks. And you're the main one who's smoothing over all the family drama. Well, when you got all that in the mix, guess what? It's easy to forget what you even like anymore. But there's good news. Just know you're not broken. You're just tired. Because you've been pouring from an empty cup for so long. And now that you have time to stop and ask yourself, what do I need? You're realizing you're not even sure of what you need. So, let's redefine it together. Real self-care is not an escape from your life. It's how you build a life that you don't need to constantly escape from. I'm going to say that again. Real self-care is not an escape from your life, but it's how you build a life that you don't need to constantly escape from. Well, how do I do that? Well, I'm going to share 5 ways that you can bring back into your daily rhythm. And as always, take what resonates with you and leave the rest here. Number 1, self-care is setting boundaries. Say no without explaining. That one does not come naturally. For givers and pleasers, that's one you have to practice. And you have to choose wisely which situations does it make sense to say no without explaining. Walk away without guilt. There are some things in our lives we all know that it's time to walk away from. We stay in friendships out of tenure We stay in situations out of tenure. We stay in habit out of tenure. But today may be today where you stop and think about those things and you say, you know what? It's time to walk away. Walking away may be easy, but the guilt part, that's the part that's going to require a little extra care. Protect your time and protect your energy like your peace depends on it, because it does. Think about that one. Protect your time. Protect your energy like your peace depends on it, because it does. Okay, let's move to number 2. Self-care is listening to your body. Here are some examples. Go to the doctor, not just when you get sick. Make it a routine to ensure your body is in its best shape by giving it a wellness routine that you can maintain. Take your vitamins. I am not advocating supplements. Your vitamins can be in the form of a supplement, but vitamins are anything that you need to give your body for nourishment and enrichment. That could be stretching. It could be resting when you're tired. It could be eating the food that loves you back. And let's be honest, we all love food that doesn't love our bodies. I love French fries. But at this point in my life, French fries do not love me. So I'm going to eat foods that my body craves. So those are some examples of things that I refer to as take your vitamins. So the goal here of listening to your body, it is not perfection. The goal is paying attention to your body and giving it precisely what it needs. Number 3, self-care is choosing joy on purpose. Schedule time for things that light you up. Think about the things that make you happy. Think about the things that bring you joy. You know, if you like to walk, maybe you don't always have to walk for exercise. Maybe you walk because you want to ground. You want to have your feet to connect with the grass, reconvene with nature. Perhaps you enjoy reading. You want to, read a few books. Read something new. Read something that brings you inspiration, joy, laughter. If you like painting, you don't always need to do group activities. You can go out and get a blank canvas and take a painting tutorial by yourself at home. How peaceful would that be? But only do it if it brings you joy. The point here is you don't need permission to feel good. Think about those little things. Keep a joy journal. What are the little things that make you happy? One of my favorite things is the first 10 minutes of the morning, my 10-minute morning routine. I'm always running up against time with the clock, rushing to get out the door. But every day I find 10 minutes for gratitude, 10 minutes for coffee, 10 minutes for meditation, yoga, or 10 minutes with my favorite song to get my day pumped up. That's my joy. Okay, number 4, self-care is letting go. Release the need to do it all. You don't have to be a superwoman. We can delegate. We can ask for help. People love to help. They love to feel needed and wanted. And guess what? The world's not going to fall apart if we stop and pause to take a breath. Ask for help. Delegate. Outsource. I think you get the picture. And the last one, and number 5, self-care is remembering who you are. In your question, you stated that you miss the woman you used to be. Revise some old habits. Make space for new dreams. What is it that you miss? Try to reignite something about the woman that you used to be. Buy a new color of lipstick. Buy something small that reminds you of the woman that you used to be, and something that reminds you of the woman that you miss. You are so much more than the roles you play for others. It's time to flip the script and play the role written for yourself. Okay. So how do I do that? Okay, you said a lot of stuff, Beverly, but how do I do that? Well, you start small. I mentioned my morning routine. Create a routine. Self-care might look like 10 minutes of quiet with your coffee in the morning before you go to work. It could look like 10 minutes of meditation the minute your feet hit the floor. It could look like 10 minutes of stretching, 10 minutes of yoga, 10 minutes of Tai Chi. It could be reading your daily word, your daily inspirational message, listening to your favorite pump me up song. It could be practicing saying no. It could be practicing those boundaries that you want to lay for the day. Or it could just be sitting long enough to hear your own thoughts again. How many times have we prayed and asked God to show us? And you can fill in the blanks. But sometimes we ask God to show us, and then we don't stop long enough to see, to hear what it is He's showing us. So you don't have to overhaul your life. You don't have to stop abandoning yourself. You just have to reimagine those things that you want to bring back into your life. So if you've been wondering where to start here, start now. The most important part is start with you. You've taken care of everyone else for so long. It's your turn. So to Warren out in Wilmington and to everyone else, I'm rooting for you. I'm sitting on the sidelines. I'm in your corners, and I'm wishing you the best of the best. If this spoke to you, if the message resonated, if it reminds you of yourself at some point in your life, don't forget to like, share, or subscribe. And if you got a question for Dear Beverly, drop it in the comments or message me directly. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, protect your peace, honor your joy, and never forget how much you matter. Bye.